Jamie Reed. I'm the director of the new MDes, Master of Design Innovation.
I'm Shaylee Gimani. I'm from India. I'm the new MDes 01 student. I'm Alaska Khan. I am here from New Hampshire, and I'm also an MDes 1.0 student.
I'm Morris Fisher, teaching program as well as
Great. Thank you.
Hi, David Myers. I'm
David, come into the shot, because I'm on YouTube as well.
So to start speaking, why don't you just tell us a little bit about why you created this program and what.
You know, the MDes program is a pretty unique program because it's combining both business and design. This is, so it's not an MBA program, it's not an MFA program. It's a Master's of Design with a collaborative process of introducing business acumen in the design process. And as we've been working with other institutions and other colleges, we've been watching MBA programs bring design thinking and design into their world. And here at massart, we were looking at the real advantages, of contextual advantages of bringing that business acumen directly into a design program at New York Design College.
Thank you. For the first year starter, I'd love to talk about why you chose the program over, say, like an MBA program.
So I was working in industrial design for my undergrad, and I was involved in a lot of industrial design work, but I could not find some, and I was looking for something that was more like from an end-to-end process. I wanted to contribute to the front-end development and the back-end, but I wasn't able to do that because I did not know all the jargons, and then I wasn't sure that I knew everything in those sectors. So that's why I started looking for programs that combine both of these, and that's what I found MDes, because it has like gives you all the basics of business, systems design, and it has basically gives you all the end-to-end process of it.
I come from an architecture background, so I was actually thinking more about getting a master's in architecture, but then I was also looking at a few different other like MFA programs. There's a transdisciplinary design program that was pretty similar, but didn't have as much business background, which I really felt like I needed in order to actually make projects happen. My interests were really kind of in public health and policy, so I wanted to kind of use design in a creative outlet for me to form new ideas and make things happen.
So similar to Shire, I come from an industrial design background. 5 years after school, I started a furniture company, worked as a design director up until about 6 months ago. And I was looking initially at MBA programs, from like building the business and working with other MBAs in the office. We just started thinking about the conversation a little bit because they started talking business jargon, and like I understand like the concepts, but like my background knowledge in that is just like totally deep. So sort of opportunity. So I was looking at I was looking at MBA programs, and I talked to some people who had gone through. I was in Cleveland at the time, so my grad school, just Case Western's school, a business school. And they had design thinking classes and stuff like that. It was sort of just almost being knowledge. Design wasn't really like ingrained in the programs themselves. So I was looking sort of get a business perspective or business education from a design perspective. This is when I discovered this program. So far, it's been great. I didn't realize that there's going to be so many all-nighters in the curriculum.
Welcome to grad school. Welcome to grad school.
Another way of doing it. Just choose it. You have a choice. And water is out. as a faculty member, what we do?
I've been teaching undergraduate for almost 20 years. Even though massart is a very diverse student body, all the students have kind of basically the same lens, so they're all very naive as to what the design process is all about. So I was really looking forward to engaging with professionals that have been out there and come from different disciplines and to be able to help them understand design through their lens and help them find a way to take that next step in life, which is something I did a few years back, also got my MBA. So I know it's a really hard decision they're making, and we feel privileged to have that involved in the program we've built here.
Absolutely.
For the graduate students, would you mind each of you briefly just talking about what you've been doing so far this semester? I know you have a show.
Yeah, they have a show that we want to get back to. So,
right
that's a
after
great
class,
question.
go back.
That's great.
Yeah, sorry.
That's not my favorite class. Is
It's not ours.
anyways, so I'm gonna go with finance and manager. It was such a new topic for me. I've never opened my account, so that was like a jump right into knowing what the actual numbers are. If you have a concept, how do you send your concept, how do you get to making a pro forma, and then we learned so much about balance sheets and accounting and things that you would never even imagine. So I think that's a jump to the left side. That's my favorite one.
And for the 6 of you that are here, Ben is here tonight with us, so hopefully you'll have a chance to talk.
I feel that it's a very important step that you take when you have a design, but you don't know how to get it out there. That's one of the main reasons why I know that.
I really like the breadth of different kinds of classes that you're able to take, and for me, one of the deciding factors for this program is the fact that we have different electives that we can choose. So for me, it was like very crucial for some of those skills that I knew that I was lacking, that I really wanted to have that opportunity to do something that was hands-on and not just mental or not just computer, but also have that opportunity to do that, or then to also hone skills on something else. So there's like an integrated product development class that Shelly was part of. I'm working right now, which is really just kind of a basic woodworking class, which is great because I'm able to understand more about functionality and how to go through that whole design process of creating basically like experiential design with wood. So as part of the electives, you can really, as a graduate student, you can really cater it to whatever you want, which I really love, that all these classes kind of fold into each other as much as you want.
And I'd like to just speak to that a little bit. And this goes back to your earlier question as to, why this program, why now, why here. One of the benefits that a program like this has being placed in art design college is being able to do things like be exposed to the artists that are also working here in other disciplines, but that contemplative process of working and making, while also very much focusing on other aspects of the discipline, holding in design and business together. So this environment actually has one of the really strong contextual values. Just want to build on that.
Just because we have the same spectrum of classes that are offered at MIT, they go hand in hand with what you're doing here, and then it just gives you a different perspective of things. Just like broadens the spectrum.
Yeah, I really love the fact that this program allows you to be like as heavy or as artsy as you kind of want to be, or as businessy as you want to be. That you can really choose what you want to be. I think one thing for me is that I really wanted to decide what skills it was that I was lacking, and then go ahead and be like, okay, that's going to help me kind of cater what my curriculum is going to look like. You're going to get everything, but making sure that after those 2 years, you're really going to come out with a job and skills that you really want, that you feel like you're lacking now.
Yeah, sorry. We got talking.
I'm going to make the most part, there's a little bit more practical learning. But case studies in some of the classes. But the project we're most passionate right now is the Thomas Vehicle project. It's like, I don't have time to explain that. But I think it's really interesting just working. So I'm on a team with Chan and Raquel. Raquel's from Portugal, Chan's from China. And you'd think we'd be like more different. But like we're very, and like so Chan is a UI designer, so he's doing this. He's designing the app, and we're designing like Raquel is industrial designer, is also an interior designer as well. So like we get to like work on different parts of the project and that come together. And it's just really interesting. I'm really excited about that project. So.
So just to go off of that a little bit, one of the unique things that we try and do is really hit on empathy, communication, context of business, and analysis. So we get that, we try and get all four of those covered in all of our classes. We have touch points in all of our classes with that more focused lens in some. But this semester they're taking innovation design lab, they're taking experience design lab with Lars, focusing on the autonomous vehicle. They have managerial accounting, and they also have storytelling. So this first semester, managerial accounting and storytelling are sort of bookends, but are skill sets that are then used in all of the other classes and will be throughout the curriculum.
And 11.
Yeah.
I think we have to pop out.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
Please, if you have any questions, take that. And for those of you online, please just shoot Jamie an email and he'll give you all of our emails to be able to ask us questions.
You guys are sticking around for the show.
Yeah, if you guys would please seek them out and ask them more
Yeah.
questions.
We learned a little bit about the teamwork.
Yeah.
What do some of the outcomes so far? I have a bit of a question about what do I submit my portfolio? I currently done 5 years on 13 days worth of appropriate for me to submit. Do you have one?
Yeah, and as we were just describing in all of the, in majority of their classes, they are working on team-based projects. And as you all know, and coming out of the work world, that we work collaboratively with many different people in occupations and the things that we do. So our curriculum is set up around those activities all the way down to our physical space. So in our physical space, instead of having individual studios, we have each MDes cohort, each MDes class is assigned a room. And the students of that year's class have that room which they occupy for all their classes and as their studios. So they customize that room for their collaborative work, they move on to individual projects, and they can rebuild that space to handle that. So it's perfectly appropriate to bring in and show collaborative work in your portfolio. There's no way around it. Just clearly identify your role in the process. Yeah, anything you want to ask for?
Well, so I was going to add is to make sure that you're identifying the team and kind of what your role was within those teams, so that some kind of understanding did well. Absolutely.
So that's really all kind of back what we're going to have here. So next time you guys have questions here,
So the woman who was in the middle talked about taking this woodworking class.
Yes.
Is that woodworking class, and are the electives like mixed in with the undergraduate classes? Because the language that she used to talk about that class was quite sophisticated in terms of experience design, but I'm curious if all grad students in that class,
So I
or
can
if
address
it's
that pretty. There are some graduate classes that are open only to graduate students. But there are many courses available at the college that are available to take as graduate credits. So you can enroll in that undergraduate class, and there is additional work that is performed for that graduate class. So, for example, Liza was talking about her woodworking techniques, and she did additional work in examining the template process of making, and gave that report back to the undergraduate class as a whole. So she had an extra assignment that was appropriate for a graduate level student who comes to the table with a lot more experience and sophistication. So it goes both ways.
So the other side of that would be that if there were other classes in other departments, you're free to elect them as your interests sort of.
Absolutely, and you would work with me to ensure that you would get into those classes.
Cool.
Yep.
So if you're watching online and you have a question, feel free to make it in the comments. Because that massart.edu.
I got another thing also, I mean, as grad students, you also have the ability to be TAs in our undergrad courses where we're trying to really make this, that you're not this, sequestered entity in the building, that we try to mix you in with the other population as much as possible. So this semester I enjoyed having Shaili as my TA in my SolidWorks class because she had some skills in that area. I have David Myers that was up here, who was in my Industrial Design 1 class. I just happened to be doing a furniture project in that class, so leveraging his furniture background was invaluable to have that class. So I mean, you guys are going to bring in skills that you're going to leverage as much as we can to again broaden the experience of what you're doing here as well as what's happening in the undergrad.
And that goes across the whole college. So I've had other graduate students and other graduate programs here at massart be TAs for me when it was appropriate in the curriculum. So it really is where it's not necessarily just TA for us or someone in our department. It's really if there's a strength or a skill, there is always that opportunity to do that. Yeah.
So I get that there is some stuff because you haven't had a graduating class yet, but what kind of jobs do you envision your graduates going up to do?
Right, so that's okay.
So what kind of jobs are you expected to get?
Yes.
Program?
Yeah. We'll figure this out. Yeah. So they're a broad range. So as you heard from the three of them, there is an opportunity in experience design. There is an opportunity for jobs in design strategy. David is taking a much more entrepreneurial approach to his education. I believe that he is probably going to go out on his own eventually. So there are occupations all around those areas. So design strategy, service design, and experience design.
Speaking to the advisor that helps them inform our program, I think that would be a good point to do.
Yeah, so we have set up a corporate advisory group. This is a group of working professionals and academics from both business and design, business leaders, large organization, different design firms that are providing us counsel, and the students are all exposed to those, to that advisory group. And what they are helping us do is stay ahead of the curve in what we're doing with the education.
You might meet some of those individuals tonight that we see the show. But again, we're trying to bring that community out there, the professional community.
Yeah, and I can speak to that in a little in greater detail in some of the professionals that we have actually teaching the program. So, of course, you'll have Lars and myself involved in the program all throughout your career here. But we also have working professionals who come in from design strategy, brand strategy, from business strategy, all coming in experience design, service design, all teaching in the program with us. So not only are they providing an advisory role, but they're bringing their real world experience in those professions here to the curriculum.
Other than teaching assistantships, are there any other assistantships available within the program?
So are there other teaching assistants?
Well, like graduate assistantships in general.
Yeah, so I mean, I can take a look at that just on the admissions side of it. I know that our graduate programs office here guarantees to have 2 teaching assistantships per semester. And we typically ask that one be in a studio-based course, and then another one be somewhere else on campus, just to kind of help you balance your time so that's not all stretched over studio-based work. And those are compensated.
What kind of projects are the students working on currently? Like what kind of projects will we be seeing?
So in the studio show that they're putting on right now, you're going to be seeing a project that they've been focusing on with Lars on the autonomous vehicle. And Lars, you want to address that a little more in depth?
Yeah, it's framed in the Experience Design Lab. So it's really a deep dive into human-centered design where they need to layer in that user empathy and then also do all the research and strategy and try to find ways of combining all of those metrics and come up with a compelling user experience. So for some of them that are coming from an industrial design background, that's not that foreign to them. But they have to layer in some of the business aspects of it, then it becomes a different animal. But that's primarily what we're focused on in the user experience or the experience design lab.
So in the innovation design lab, that's a pretty unique course as well, in which that it's taught by both a business strategist and a design strategist. So I've set it up so that there's a co-teaching situation so that you get a balanced approach from both sides of the aisle, so to speak. And they have done a number of case study examinations, but then took that and applied it to research and then development project in which they did primary and secondary research around financial institutions. And they specifically were looking at the sandwich generation, parts that sort of fall into that sandwich generation, in which we're involved in decisions around our parents or our parents' age, and we also are raising kids. So we're sort of in that middle area, and they were looking at different developing new financial strategies and systems for different banking institutions to deploy to help and help that sandwich generation. And some of the unique things that you'll see in the gallery is, yes, some of the students focused on that sandwich generation, but through their primary research, their secondary research, they identified some opportunities that dealt with both ends of the spectrum, as well as that sort of mean middle. So they developed products that would help educate the children around finance, as well as tools to help grown children help manage and understand and jointly share the responsibilities around their parents' finances. Additionally, they have been, as Shailene was describing, have been involved in financial managerial counseling class, in which were involved, their primary project was writing prospectus. And then from there, they have a storytelling class in which they've evolved through a series of lectures and readings have had a time-based project on their relationship to technology. So that put them in a position of establishing a sort of understanding of what it's like to be the subject, because they became the subject of their own film. And that was designed around developing a little empathy for the subjects that you do. So that's what you'll see, what they've been working on.
The autonomous car,
You can ask one more question.
the autonomous car project, does an autonomous car come as an end product of that, or is that
Not
like a
necessarily.
hypothetical problem that the students are working?
Yeah, they were to think about it. Our goal was to redesign the car. They were really looking at autonomous mobility. Right? So what are the other opportunities around that? This emerging technology that's there. So you're going to see some that will have some kind of autonomous vehicle, but there's a larger service experience. That they
But a student may come out of that with some sort of product, app, or system.
You're going to see a little bit of everything. That's it.
But the main thing was focused on design of experience. So it's a very rich answer in the end, because it's that whole service experience design.
I think that's all we have today. If you have further questions, you can always email me at massart.edu, or go on our website. Thank you all so much.